If I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back. So to me, it was just common sense. I'm like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier. You can't shortchange yourself. Like you're not cheating anybody but yourself. Right? I mean, you're tired. You're literally this far away from the line. Why would you not go that extra to touch the line? If your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice. You have to train. Right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, right? 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right? Now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11. Right? Relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up because they're 5 years behind. Right? So it makes sense to get up and start your day early because you can get more work in. So I went through a summer of playing basketball in America where I didn't score 1 point. It was one league, I didn't score 1 point, and it was devastating. But I had to, no, I'm not giving up. It's not going to happen. So you bounce back and you keep playing, you keep practicing, you keep practicing. But I mean, it wasn't handed to me.
You didn't score 1 point.
Not one. I mean, not even a free throw.
And you were
0.
You were how old?
11.
11. Were you playing against 25-year-olds?
No, I was playing against 11-year-olds. No, I was playing against 11-year-olds.
That's hard to believe. Wow.
I know, but I was playing against 11-year-olds and I didn't score 1 point.
And then was it did it hurt you? Were you
Well, yeah, it was very embarrassing because my father was a Philadelphia basketball legend. My uncle was a Philadelphia basketball legend, and now here I am, this kid with like these really big knee pads, and I'm walking around and I can't score anything. So it was like really embarrassing.
that drove you?
Of course it did. Of course it did. And I vowed to be much, much better. So like if you're saying, okay, I'm going to climb Mount Everest, you're at the bottom of the mountain and you look up and you're going, oh, I'm not going to climb Mount Everest, right? But if you break it down into sections and just 1 foot in front of the other, 1 step at a time, next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain. Well, man, because I think the greatest fear that we face is ourselves, actually. I think it's not anything that's external or anything that's superficial. I think the greatest fear you face is yourself, because we all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have. And it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself. Listen, it's very simple. You have to dance beautifully in the box that you are comfortable dancing in, right? So like everybody's box is different. My box was to be extremely ambitious within the sport of basketball. Your box is different than mine, right? Every kid here has their own box, but it doesn't mean that your box isn't as beautiful as mine, right? Everybody has their own. It's your job to try to perfect it and make it as beautiful of a canvas as you can make it. And if you have done that, then you have lived a successful life. You have lived with Mamba mentality.